be like the branches of the tree. Be like the branches of the tree, dancing wild and swaying free. They fix their hair in the morning breeze. No need to run, no need to please. Nobody told them how to stand. Nobody placed them where they land. They just grew toward the light they knew, and did the only thing that's true. Storms may roar and winds may fight. They take the blows and still shine bright. No cry, no moan, no show of pain. They bathe with grace in pouring rain. The thunder comes and shakes the ground. They don't collapse, they don't back down. They lean into the howling air and prove that standing takes a dare. They bask beneath the blazing sun. No seat, no shade, yet they don't run. It's not a choice, it's how they speak. In silence, loud and posture meek. They don't announce their suffering, they don't perform their conquering. They simply stand where they were placed and meet each season face to face. They open wide their arms to fate. No matter harsh, no matter late, through every change they still perform, glowing bright through every storm. Spring brings bloom and autumn takes, winter strips and summer bakes, and through it all the branch remains. Not despite the loss, but through the pain. The strength is quiet, soft yet bold. They bend but never break or fold, like the curve that finds the back of the net. Precise, intentional, and without regret. They move with grace under pressure's weight, but never lose their rooted state. The world may push from every side, the branch just opens deep and wide. Leaves may flutter, drift and go, still the branch begins to glow. What it loses makes it light, what is taken clears the sight. Wind and water, heat and strife, still they celebrate their life. Not because the life is easy, not because the sky is clear, but because the root runs deeper than the reach of any fear. And though no one may stop and care, the branches teach us how to dare. Nobody is watching in the forest at dawn. Nobody applauds when the cold night is gone. Nobody hands out medals for surviving the freeze, but the branch grows anyway in the dark and the breeze, because growth was never meant for an audience. It was always meant for you. The becoming happens in the unseen hours, in the quiet, in the through. To live with joy, to breathe and be, to rise above and still feel free. This is not the gift of easy living. This is the reward of the ones who kept giving when the giving cost everything. The ones who smiled through the season that tried to end them. The ones who bent so far they nearly touched the ground, and then slowly, without announcement, without applause, rose again. You have been that branch. You may not have called it that. You may have called it surviving. You may have called it barely holding on. But look at you, still here, still standing, still reaching towards something, even when the sky gave you nothing to reach for. That is not ordinary. That is the most extraordinary thing a living thing can do. So break the chains, release the pain, let courage run through every vein. Be like the branches, don't you see? The storm was never your enemy, it was your teacher. It was the thing that showed you what your roots were made of. It was the pressure that revealed the depth. It was the cold that proved the warmth inside you was real and not borrowed, and not given by anyone else's approval. Be like the branches, wild and free, rooted deep where no one sees. Bending, always breaking, never losing leaves, but losing never the will to grow, the will to glow, the will to stand in every weather. With your arms wide open and your face turned toward whatever light remains. Be happy, be bold, be the branch that dances in the storm and calls it living. Be the one who bends all the way down and rises all the way back. Be the thing that loses everything in autumn and still comes back green in spring. That is you. That has always been you. Now act like it.